Most of you aren't subscribed. Make sure to subscribe, as it helps out the channel. Without further ado, following our MC, we see him talking about how he was bullied in middle school, causing him to shut himself away from the outside world. One day whilst on his phone, our MC is engulfed by a huge flash of light, only to appear in front of a goddess, who congratulates him as he's been selected to be reincarnated. Realizing he had probably passed away in his room, he hears that the goddess warns him that the new world only cares about magic prowess, so she states she'll give him a little boost. Hearing such an amazing offer, our MC reckons that he should try to replicate his shut-in life in this new world, striving to spend all day watching anime and playing games. Just like that, our MC is reincarnated as a baby, spotting a king calling out to his wife Giselet, happy to see that their child is a boy, and has a royal insignia as a birthmark. Deducing that his parents are royalty, our MC gets excited for the easy life, but notices that the king is now having our MC's potential gauged through a crystal ball. Stating that he himself is of pure royal blood, and his wife is a powerful adventurer, the king expects his son to have a maximum mana level cap of at least 40 or 50, but is disappointed when the orb reveals our MC's maximum mana level is 2. On top of that, the orb states that our MC has no elemental affinities, and can only use barrier magic, disappointing the king and queen. Knowing that they'll be a laughing stock among other nobles, the king and queen decide to fake their child's death, telling everyone their son died at childbirth, but both are upset that they had already given our MC the name of Reinhardt. Shocked that his parents don't want him, our MC hears the king order his servants to dispose of the child in a nearby forest, helpless to do anything. Cutting to the goddess that reincarnated him, she chats with another god, admitting that she gave our MC too high of a level and that the orb couldn't read our MC's true level of 1002, plus she forgot to give him any elemental affinities. Later that night, we see our MC curled up in a blanket, struggling to even move with his body. Testing out his barrier magic, our MC imagines a cube, easily conjuring up a cubic barrier. Testing out different colors and shapes, our MC wonders if he can encase himself with a cube, only to be amazed when he manages to lift himself up with his barrier magic. Happy to know he can at least run away from danger, our MC is caught off guard when a monster sneaks up on him, barely able to erect his barrier before being devoured. Surprised that his barrier is so sturdy, our MC pelts the monster with some cubic barriers, but when he sees that the cubes aren't doing anything, he follows up by tossing some trees at the monster. With the monster still not yielding, our MC picks up a huge chunk of land with his barrier, preparing to squash the monster, but suddenly hears the creature speak. Stopping to chat, our MC refuses to take the name Reinhardt, introducing himself as Haruto, only to see the creature apologize, only wanting to replenish its mana by devouring him. Knowing that his body is still too young to speak, Haruto encases his vocal cords with a barrier, able to vibrate them to emanate speech. Shocked that a baby is speaking, the creature wonders who our Haruto is, prompting Haruto to introduce himself, telling the creature that he had been abandoned. Sensing huge amounts of mana emanating from our MC, the creature urgently asks if Haruto is the Demon King reincarnated. Not wanting the creature to know he was a jobless shut-in, Haruto claims the title of the Demon King, scaring the creature as it offers its life to Haruto. Seeing the creature being dramatic, Haruto states that he'll leave it alive, as long as it doesn't try to attack him. Grateful to be spared, the creature introduces itself as a flame Fenrir, but not wanting to chat any longer, Haruto calls the flame Fenrir, Flay, heading off. Stopping Haruto, Flay states that since Haruto has given it a name, they both now formed a master and slave pact. Not knowing what he had done, Haruto begins to fall unconscious, having not been fed anything since birth. Willing to do anything for her master, Flay transforms into a human form but realizes that she has no clothes, forcing Haruto to cover her with his barrier spell. Apologizing for her rudeness, she wonders what she should feed Haruto, but suddenly hears someone approaching from afar. Wanting to kill the stranger, Flay is instructed to peacefully settle any disputes first, casting a barrier that'll help him speak with her from afar. Confronting a man, Flay demands to know why he's here, learning that the man is a relative of Haruto's parents, here to rescue the abandoned child. Accusing the man of using a baby for ulterior motives, Flay is proven wrong when the man reveals that he has brought breast milk for Haruto, who is excited to finally consume something. Still not believing the man, Flay demands to know the man's true motives, learning that the man had lost his own child in the past, wanting to make up for it with Haruto. Crying at such a tragic backstory, Flay reasons that this man is more qualified to raise her master, but states that she'll only allow him to raise her master as long as she's his personal attendant. With both Flay and the man agreeing, we see the man help destroy Haruto's basket, faking the baby's death. Moving 9 years forward, Haruto is living under the Margrave Gold family, with his mother, father and younger sister Char. Happy to be with such a loving family, Haruto notes how Char is very shy around him, catching the eye of Flay, who tells the two to grow closer somehow. Seeing that Char is very close with Flay, Haruto gets jealous, watching as Char and Flay play together outside. Seeing Haruto staring blankly at Char and Flay playing, Haruto's mother cheers Haruto up, reasoning that Char simply is shy and doesn't know how to act around boys that are the same age as her. Hearing this, Haruto wonders if Char knows that he is a creep reincarnated in a young boy's body, but hears his mother remind Haruto that he'll eventually inherit their wealth and suggest that Haruto play with Char every once in a while, instead of locking himself in his room. Returning to his room, Haruto thinks about running away to live his own independent life, but knows that Flay would be devastated, and his family would feel betrayed. Haruto reveals that whilst he had locked himself away, he had crafted this robot copy of himself, but sadly the robot can't speak just yet. Wondering if he can create robot copies of others, he's suddenly called by his father. Out in the yard, his father states that he'll be training Haruto on how to wield a sword, scared that Haruto is wasting his life away, believing that Haruto has low mana levels. Telling his father about his studies into ancient magic, his father is surprised to hear a unique interest, but still wants to see if Haruto has potential as a swordsman. Standing off against one another, Haruto senses his father's potent aura, having been a warrior his entire life, given the title of Earth-Shattering Warhammer. Encasing himself with a barrier, Haruto swiftly leaps towards his father, swinging his wooden sword down, only for his father to dodge as his sword snaps in half, having collided with the ground. Shocked, his father spots a massive hole from where Haruto's sword landed, taking a battle stance to gauge Haruto's skills. Swinging his blade at Haruto, his father watches as Haruto effortlessly evades his strike, knowing that only level 30 and above warriors can dodge a strike like that. Thinking back, Haruto had tried to measure his mana level several times in the past, but no changes in his level ever appeared. Instead, he believed that the goddess had in exchange for the low mana level, gave him unlimited potential with barrier magic. Knowing that his son still has much to learn, Haruto's father continues to train RMC, all whilst Char watches. That night, Haruto's father chats with his wife, whilst Char lays on her mother's lap. Revealing that Haruto has crazy skills, Haruto's father wonders if he must be a demon's offspring, as there have been tales of the royal family experimenting with demons. Refusing to believe such a thing, Haruto's mother chalks it up to be the royal insignia exhibiting strange traits, explaining why a demon beast like Flay is so close to Haruto. Nonetheless, both Haruto's mother and father state that they'll continue to raise Haruto just like a normal child, not knowing that Char is listening in on everything. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like and comment.